I got to a point where I fully realized I would much rather be single than stay in this relationship.
So the ratio for guys is better than it is for women, because half of the guys, they got the little.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Like
I feel like I'm getting anxiety
she's
sweats.
getting hot. She's
Just
sweating.
you talking about me reaching out to people is making me so. I'm literally.
Oh Lord. I can't see nothing.
Oh, you ain't got your glasses on?
Nope.
That's your problem.
I'm blind.
Ain't got no vision.
Okay. All right. We're not starting with that today. Over there sipping on your matcha chocolate.
I know I had to wake up.
Yes.
I gotta wake up.
Yes. You did have to wake up.
What you mean?
Nothing.
Welcome to the Unsingle podcast.
Welcome to the Unsingle podcast.
I'm Chantel.
I'm Jamal.
And we are back with another episode.
I will say that we are not licensed professionals. So we are just two individuals sharing our life stories. I don't want people to be thinking that we're like, I mean, obviously through what we go through, like learn from our mistakes.
Our learned experiences.
Yes, but definitely just we don't want to get sued by nobody because y'all think we over here
That'd
like
be
we're
crazy.
actual therapists.
Imagine if somebody literally sued us from like just watching us talk and like took it so literally that they sued us.
Yeah.
I would sue them.
I would sue back.
I would countersue. There's a word for that.
Yeah, I would sue Young. I would Manny Faye sue. I would Susu.
We've lost the plot.
Okay, sorry. My bad. I thought it was a skit. My bad.
We've lost the plot.
We're back to normal.
Yeah, but we're just two regular people talking about our learned experiences. We met each other in our mid-30s and found each other through a dating app. It's a very much a modern dating story.
Absolutely.
But we just realized we got engaged and married in the same
year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, we just
met each other.
Yes. We was doing I was putting together a post and I was like, bro, we got married like the same year? It feels, we've been together.
It feels like we've been together forever.
Yes, but it's only been 2 years officially now. Well, not officially. I asked you to be my girlfriend in like it was like the 29th, I think.
Do you know our anniversary? Because I feel like both of us be forgetting.
No, it's January 29th.
It is.
Which sucks because February doesn't have 29 days.
What does that mean?
February doesn't have 29 days.
Oh, so like every month we can't celebrate? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, it sucked for the first year.
Yeah.
Ooh. Got a question for you.
Hit me.
While we're here, do you think in a new relationship you should celebrate monthly anniversaries, or do you feel like it should automatically be a year? Oh my God. Or what? What do you think?
If I'm 16, we could celebrate every month or something. I'm too tired.
That's crazy.
To celebrate every single month. I'm 35. It's very cute and it's a very nice gesture. I'm tired. I barely can remember our 1 year.
Which is weird because I feel like most women always remember the 1 year, and then that's the opposite.
That is definitely like a thing. That's always like a thing that people say, that the man always forgets the anniversary.
Yeah.
I think in general I have bad memory, so there's something I need to get it checked out.
I think, my personal opinion, I think you should I like to celebrate the first year month by month by month. Okay. And then after that's fair. But I'm also a hopeless romantic. So don't go out there and
No, it's a very nice gesture. I think that's a beautiful thing. It is very romantic. So if the people who have that within them, go for it. And I also think, like you said, during the first year, that's very nice to do, because it's almost like every month is a milestone in that first year. But beyond that, if we've been together for like 10 years and we're still celebrating every single month, that's just a different type of love. And kudos to whoever's able to do that. Yeah. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't think.
And does it still stay as special if you do that you ain't tired? Nobody's tired? I'm the only one tired?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I actually don't have much to say about that matter. Normally I always have something. You do always have something all the time. So I don't really have anything to say about that.
It's funny because so I wanted to talk about why people stay in relationships that aren't good for them. And you bringing that up actually is funny to me, because it's like, maybe it is stuff like that happens in a relationship. Like, maybe imagine if you were the type who wants to continuously do that, and I'm just like, no, stop it. I don't want that. Don't. And I'm not joining with you on celebrating. And now this has become a toxic situation. But 20 years later, we're still together and we're just fighting.
Yeah.
Why do people do that? Why do you think people stay in bad situations?
It's funny,
in toxic situations?
because I don't feel like I am the right person to answer this question.
Why? Because you be out.
Yo, I'm the type of guy who, besides my very first relationship I was like head over heels. I didn't like the girl, but she would not leave me alone because we worked together. So she was always trying to get at me, and finally broke me down. And
Poor guy.
I was like, all right, let's talk, let's do this, you know. And then she broke my heart, and ever since then, I was like, never again.
No way.
I'll never let nobody break my heart again.
Interesting.
And then after that, I would always like be the first to break off relationships, right? But I don't think that's really a good question for me, because when I see signs that I didn't like in the past, and it like compiled, I'd be done. I'd be like, nah, I'm not doing this. I can't. So someone that I know that was in a 10-year relationship.
Who?
You was in a 10-year relationship. So I feel like you'd be best to answer that question. Why do people stay?
Dang,
longer than they need to be?
That's crazy.
Why are you overstaying your welcome?
I didn't realize that question would be flipped on me.
Yeah. Why are you in the club?
Because I did do that.
Why are you in the club past closing time? Huh? Why are you in the restaurant when they close at 12 and it's 1:30 in the morning?
I stayed because I had a lot of hope that things were going to get better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think especially because I didn't have a lot of dating experience before him. There wasn't a lot that I knew were like, a lot of things that I didn't realize were unacceptable. I didn't have the strongest boundaries. So there were a lot of things that I knew I wasn't happy with, and I just was like, oh, maybe it's just a phase, or maybe I can, see past it, or hopefully things will get better. And then somehow, some way, 10 years went by. Because then you reach a certain point too, where it's like you've been together for so long that it's kind of feels that you're not giving it a fair shot if you just throw it all away because you're not happy.
Yeah.
Because feelings can be fleeting. Like one day I'm happy, and then the next day he might do something really nice, and I'm like, oh, everything's great again.
Yeah.
Even though overall the relationship is shitty.
Okay.
And I also feel like my situation was, I don't want to say different, but my situation wasn't one where it was such an obvious reason to break up. I never got cheated on. I never was physically like harmed or anything crazy like that. I was just super, super, super unhappy. And I would wish that he would cheat on me or something, just so I felt like I had a legitimate reason to break up or to end the relationship.
Yeah.
And when I started feeling that way, I knew I had to do something, but then I also was too scared to maybe break up. I think because I was comfortable there. So I was too scared to end the relationship until it started affecting other things in my life, or it affected a family member of mine. And that's where I drew the line for sure. So yeah.
So essentially you feel like it was like a lack of experience. So like first thing being like lack of experience because you hadn't been in a relationship, so you didn't necessarily know what
was a deal breaker.
Yeah,
what was
because he didn't do anything like over the top.
Yeah.
Until he did, obviously. Yeah.
But it's like, how do you, like, even now when people ask me why we broke up, it's hard for me to say because it wasn't just one thing.
Yeah.
It was just a very, very shitty relationship.
So I guess my question is that something to blame on like your upbringing or your parents? Do you feel like Do you feel like it's like, dang, I should blame my mom or my dad
For
because
wasn't able to have experiences?
Well, not necessarily experiences, but it's like where do we learn that from? When do we get a chance to like experience what is right, what's not right, when we should break up, when we shouldn't, when we're in that phase? Because essentially you put in like 10 years, you know? But do you think if like your mom or your dad came by or came around at a certain time and they were like, hey, we don't feel like this person's good for you and here are the reasons why, do you think that would have changed anything?
Well, to be fair, they did do that.
Okay.
They did, and I took offense to it when they did. I remember feeling like, well, they're not in the relationship and they don't know him. This was before, but they saw it before I saw it. So them telling me, and I think a lot of times kids just have this rebellious thing where like, if your parent tells you to do something, it's almost as though you feel you just got to do the opposite.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that as well, but they saw the signs before I did. So in the beginning, when I was really happy and everything was good, they were both like, this isn't the person for you.
I got you.
And I just didn't see it.
I got you.
Until it was, 10 years later.
How many long?
10 years later.
You can say it. You can say it out loud. Say what you
It was 10 years.
It was 10 years?
It was 10 years. I dragged it.
Well, I will come to your defense. I do feel like when you're in something, it's so much harder to see.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's why, like, and if you look at actual football, they have offensive coordinators and like part of the personnel in these high booths so they can see over the whole field. It's like in life, we don't have that. You know, we may have people who have experienced things, but it's very hard for us to like take a step back, being in the situation and like looking at everything.
Yeah.
And you're in the situation. You're actively going through these things. So like for me personally, I feel like it's okay to like be in a situation not knowing like what the right moves are and what the wrong moves are, right? Because who's to know that if you, not saying not in your situation, but let's just say you're with somebody for 4 years and you're feeling very similar, who's to say like in that 5th year either something happens to that person to make their ideas change to want to be better for you, or they might go to therapy or whatever to like that 4th year or that 5th year may be that year where they get it. Like I understand, like you don't know that.
Right.
You know?
Right. And you still care about the person.
Absolutely.
Like just because the relationship is shitty doesn't mean you don't love the person still.
Yeah.
So that complicates things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also feel like we need to listen to our intuition and our gut more.
That's the biggest thing I got from that experience, is because I feel like I've had a lot of people ask like, how do you know when it is right to leave a relationship? And I do think it comes down to trusting your gut on it. There is no like it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one like specific thing that you have to look for. If this one thing happens, then you got to leave. Aside from like physical or any kind of abuse. You got to get out of there. And,
and there's more ways. There's more forms of abuse than just physical.
Mental, emotional.
Yeah, mental, emotional,
yes.
Physical. I mean, all of them are bad.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. All of them are just as damaging.
Equally damaging.
So those type of situations, hands down, no questions asked. You gotta get out of there. But that's a place we have to put they have like hotlines and numbers in place, because a lot of times in those situations people don't know how to get out of that situation. So that's a different story. But I think in general, when I was in that situation, it was just a gut feeling, even though I still wasn't, I guess, I don't know if strong enough is the right word, but it felt like I wasn't strong enough to actually say I'm ending the relationship. Until, like I said, it affected somebody else. But it's like I knew the relationship was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the moment where it's like, you gotta walk away.
Yeah.
Like when you know, like you've done everything, or you just know that it just isn't right in your heart and your gut, you gotta walk away.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's not easy.
It's gonna be hard.
Oh man. I've been out of relationships where I've just come to the person. I was the guy who like would blindside you with the breakup.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Unfortunately, I was that guy. And
why?
It would be like things that I would like, if there's something going on, to my defense, it would be like, if I was in a relationship with you and I would like note things or say things, and like I would sit back and notice that you didn't change those things, but I wouldn't necessarily like
confront you about
it. I would just let you know. I'm not going to keep letting you know. I would let you know.
You're a one warning type of guy.
I'm like a one, maybe two type of warning guy. And a lot of times they didn't feel like anything would go wrong if they didn't change those habits. And they wouldn't. And over a course of time, I'm like, all right, well, this is all built up. And I'm at this point now where I don't care because...
But that's like a conversation you had with yourself. It's not a conversation you had with the person.
Correct. And then I would like be like, I'm breaking up.
So looking back, do you feel like that was a good way to handle things? Like, do you feel like it should have been handled differently?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't think I should tell you what I expect and then sit back and then if you don't make those adjustments, break up with you.
Yeah.
I think now it's like, here are my expectations. And then if you care about a person, you're going to work with that person.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's
like,
how it should be.
And then also, it's also a different element when you feel fulfilled. Because I feel fulfilled now. So like, I don't really require much from a person, you know, outside of really just the basic minimum, you know what I mean? And you and I have very established roles in our relationship. So are there times where I feel like you may not be doing X, Y, Z in your role to help keep me fulfilled? Yes, but is it enough for me to like, oh, I gotta break up with this person, or me and you gotta get a divorce now because you're not? No.
Yeah. Or
for me to sit there and let it build. It's like me scheming behind your back, emotionally scheming.
That's crazy.
Behind your back. Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it's.
And we over communicate at this point, so that we never have to deal with something like that.
Let me voice it to you. Okay, it hasn't changed. Let's talk about it again. All right, it hasn't changed. All right, let's talk about why it hasn't changed. Because obviously, it's something rooted.
Yeah, you have to get to the root.
Yeah, and it's like, do you need therapy? Do I need therapy? Like, do we need to sit down? Do we need to figure this in? Because this, to me, right here, this thing is not working for me. So please, I promise you, like, I want us to be together, but like, I just need this thing to like work.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I should have approached things as opposed to how I did.
Yeah, just so quick to cut off.
Yeah.
I think I did realize one thing that did help me end the relationship, or at least the thought process, was that I realized, what made me think of it is I feel like a lot of times people are afraid to leave a relationship because they're scared they won't find somebody else. I think that's a big fear for a lot of people. I guess the fear of being alone and not finding another relationship. I think that's why a lot of people stay in relationships where the guys cheat on them and they're just like,
yeah, I ain't gonna get a better situation.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. Because there's women who full-heartedly, you can't convince them otherwise, that literally every single man on the planet cheats.
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic for a different day. But I will say that I got to a point where I fully realized I would much rather be single than stay in this relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I got out of the relationship not with any kind of expectation of I'll find somebody better, or that wasn't my motive, or that wasn't my motivation behind the decision at all. And I think that was a healthier place to be coming from. I just know I knew I needed to do it for me. Yeah. To be happy.
Well, I think you gotta strive. I think you should strive to be single as an individual.
Well,
but that means a lot more than me just like saying, like, strive to be single, like maybe along what we were talking about last night, like learn who you are as a person, learn yourself, strive to be this single warrior, this single beautiful queen, princess, whatever you want to be, and learn what that means. Like learn how to be that person, and you will attract whatever is what's coming to you. I don't think anybody should ever, granted, obviously, you're in the moment. Yeah. So it's different.
Yes.
Like I can sit here and say
it's
this.
It's easier to say when you're outside of.
And it's happened already.
Yeah.
You know, for you. So I can sit here and be like, you know, like you should, there's plenty of people out there. What are you talking about? Like you're a pretty girl, you got great things going for you, you know? So like I would say to you, hey, there's so many guys.
Yeah.
And don't like, I hate when people are like, well, I don't say I hate because I used to say this stuff too. But when we live in Atlanta, you know, so the ratio for guys is better than it is for women because half the guys, they got the little.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying. I see the risk. I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So they. They got the Okay.
I got you.
So because of that, because of the most male guys in Atlanta know that there's more women to choose from because a lot of guys here are gay.
Okay.
But vice versa, it's not. That's the statistic. Regardless of any statistics that are out there, that doesn't mean that if you work hard on yourself that you won't be able to find a right person for you.
Yeah.
Right? It just maybe just fine tuning who you are, your personality or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as people think.
It's not, but it also can be. Sometimes it feels lonely trying to navigate that because you meet a lot of temporary people.
Do you think there's a problem with like not being able to be alone?
I think you have to be okay with being alone for sure. I feel like there's no way for you to you have to be happy and comfortable in your own presence to be able to. If you want to find you want a companion, that's somebody who like you're bringing with you. You don't need to just be with somebody and then that becomes you're dependent on them for your happiness.
Yeah.
And you can't, a relationship is not that.
Yeah.
Somebody else cannot make you happy. You have to be happy. We've talked about that before. You've said the same thing. You have to be happy on your own and the person you're with complements that and you guys be happy together.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on somebody else to do that. And I feel like that starts with you being alone and knowing what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Because from coming out of a relationship for 10 years, I really was relearning myself and rediscovering myself. There was so much I didn't know, and I've always had somebody else with me where I didn't have to like just be on my own. I kind of relied on that other person to like be my companion and always be there and do like all these other things. I never had to just go out on my own and, you know, try to make friends and try to figure out what I like to do on my own. Like I just always depend on the person because I was so young, not so young, but I was younger when I met them. So by the time we broke up, there was so much I had to learn about myself. But I also will say that something that helped me too while I was single, because being lonely is a feeling, and that happens even when you are really happy with yourself. Sometimes you still miss that that I guess kind of relationship. And I remember talking to my therapist once, and she said that like love doesn't only look one way. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It's like pour into your other relationships. When you are feeling lonely, go to your family and friends and build those relationships and connections. I focused on making new friendships because my best friend, I don't have a lot of friends, but my best friend had been in a relationship she's with her guy.
You do have a lot of friends.
I have a lot more friends now.
You have a lot lot don't forget what you're saying.
My sisters.
Your sisters. Yeah. That's all it is. You just replace friends with your actual sisters.
But I think also that's the reason I never tried to make more friends, because I've always had sisters and those were my friends. So I never had to, anytime I wanted to hang out with people, I just had my sisters. I never had to try to make new friends. But anyways, so I had my best friend who is in a relationship, and I kind of started feeling bad. Like she wasn't always able to like go hang out with me now that I'm single and you know, trying to just have fun or, you know, whatever. I just started feeling guilty about it, and I wanted to build more relationships. And so that started that journey for me, with me trying to be more friendly and try to, you know, just put myself out there more. And that did feel, you know, like, I guess that void, if you want to call it that, like that feeling of wanting or needing, or, you know, I think the therapist saying that love it comes to you in different ways. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship.
Yeah, I think we had this is such a big lesson that we learned last year that I feel like it's definitely transformed us, is the whole pouring into the people that are closest to you, because we have gotten so used to them just always being there for us that now they're like on the back burner.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I have some friends that I feel like I've been friends with for 20 plus years. And because they've been around for so long, we've been through so much, I'm just like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't really be spending the real actual time with them that I should be spending with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's that quote we talked about the other day where it's that you treat the people closest to you the worst.
Yes.
It's like you go out into the world, you go out to work in an office every day, and you're so nice to those people every day, and you're so polite, and you make sure you're accommodating to everybody else, and then you go home and you treat your partner like crap. You ignore them, or you're just like, I need space, I don't want to talk to you, or all these other things, when you've just been nice to everybody else all day. And it's unfair, but it's, you know, out of not even necessarily complacency, but it's like you take that person for granted because they're always there. So you forget that that's somebody you need to be pouring into just as much, if not more, than these other compartments in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I think you got to focus. Focus on your relationships around you.
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
Focusing on the relationships around me?
Yeah. Compared to the ones that you just went out and tried to create. Because it is hard as an adult to make new friends.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
If you do, it's not real.
And it's the maintaining of the friendship that's hard for me. I feel like I can go out and meet new people. We meet people all the time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, make connections with people. And there's people that I feel like the times I have, you know, in coincidence or through work have hung out with, and I'm like, oh, like this is actually like somebody I really enjoy hanging out with. And, you know, you have that whole conversation. Oh yeah, we need to hang out. Yeah, I'm gonna call you for lunch, girl. We gotta do brunch. Yes, let's do brunch. Oh, there's a spot right around the corner. Yeah, when we gonna do that?
You the queen. Shan is the
I have
Shan
such good intentions.
Is the queen of setting up dates and hanging out with friends, but never actually executing on hanging out.
Why am I like that? I have such good intentions. I don't say it and just be like just saying it just to say it. I say it and genuinely want to hang out.
I know you want to actually. You do want to hang out.
I just never.
You just never do.
Like a straight up years will go by and I will not set that date. It will not happen.
You gotta work
it
on
will
the
not
happen. I think you just don't be wanting to set stuff up.
I don't.
You probably be tired.
I'm tired?
You know what it's? I think it's way deeper than that.
What? Ooh.
And I don't want to get into it because I feel like
it's gonna hurt my feelings.
No, it's not you. Like it's both things that we both do.
Oh, okay.
Or everyone does it. I think we're so much into our phones and social media. You and me personally. Well, we do it because it's our job. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of time like scrolling, and that dopamine be hitting, and it forces you to not want to be like active. It forces you to not want to get up and do stuff. But then also too, we're older.
What does that mean as far as hanging out with people?
Yeah, we don't want to be leaving the house that much.
Nah, hanging out, we gonna be in the house.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
I will leave the house to go to somebody else's house, maybe.
Bro, I have to think 14 times before I think about leaving the house. It's to go do something.
14 is such a specific number.
It's exactly how much times I think about it when it's time to think. I'm like, damn, I could do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? How I'm always like, we can do this. Yeah. I did it today. Yeah. I was like, we need to film 4 skits. Then I was like, we can push one back the next week because I only need this amount of, it's like, I think it's a combination of that because a lot of more people are on their phones more, but that's other things as well. I don't think it's specifically.
Yeah.
I know specific to your case. I know it does sound so far-fetched and way off of topic, but I promise you, if you like was just more of an active person and you went out and like just actually called people and had conversations, and
you think so?
I think you would probably be less on your phone and more like.
I feel like I'm getting anxiety sweats. Just sweating. You talking about me reaching out to people is making me so. I'm literally.
Oh Lord. She's gonna go to her comfort. Which is, dang, I should have called this person.
My God,
and then this is what she'll do. She'll sit on the couch. She'll be like,
No, I love what did I tell you? What did I just tell you before everybody got here? What did I tell you that I'm so excited about today?
To lay down on the couch, watch Breaking Bad, and eat pho.
Yes, like that's.
You're like, I can't wait to finish filming because I'm just going to lay down, eat pho,
like
and watch
that
Breaking
excites me. Like just rubbing my little feet together, watching my show, eating my pho, like.
But is that because you're 30 plus, 35 plus?
I feel like I was doing that in college too. Except it wasn't pho in college, it was lemon pepper wings. My hot lemon pepper wings. It's the same thing.
Oh my God.
It's the same thing. But I will say though, I'm proud of us for. I feel like because we've been more intentional with, like we said, pouring into the relationships that are important to us. Mm-hmm. So I feel like lately we've been doing a better job with when we say we're going to hang out with friends, that we actually make sure we do it.
Yeah.
We've been hanging out with the people closest to us a lot more in the last 5 months, maybe.
I'd say like 3.
Okay, 3 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 months. You're right. Mm-hmm. Which is a beautiful thing. It really excites me. I really love it. Not that and a lot of times it's not us doing anything crazy. It's just like chilling or whatever. It's not like a whole. We don't have to make a whole thing out of it.
Yeah.
But I do love that for us as far as just building those relationships.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we hung out with your friends last night,
and we said we're gonna hang out this weekend.
Yeah, we was like, Saturday, we're gonna do it.
Everybody said we're gonna do it. So
I noticed the thing is that people don't set the date. A lot of people will keep, like last night, that's what was happening. Everybody was like, let's hang out. When? This weekend. Someone that mentioned this weekend, they're like, no, I'm gonna give it more time.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah.
I think I literally said.
Yeah.
I was like, because you were trying to set the date, and I was like, babe, no, like give them time to go in their car and talk about us and decide behind our backs if they like us or not, if they even want to hang out.
Well, I wasn't even trying to like press them out. I was just trying to be like,
no,
hey,
you were
we're
so normal.
free this weekend. You let us know.
Yeah.
That's
no, you were normal. I was the weird one for saying that. But that's like my thought process.
Which I don't understand that. It's like, girl, let's set the day, and then at least we got a date set.
I be thinking people hate me.
I think it's funny because when you actually go and hang out with the person,
I have the best time.
We did not want to end last night.
No, I know. We were the last people there. They had to kick us out.
Yes.
The lady handed us our bill, gave us our to-go bags. We literally were the last people there, and she was staring at us from the corner. I had a direct view of her.
She saw you?
She kept turning around, looking at us, not just checking, but just
That was funny because I was like, "What time y'all close?" And she was 12.
And it was 1:30.
I was like, yo, we need to hang out with these people. It's too fun. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
And they're your friends.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Y'all need to hang out more. It's 2025.
We will. We are. We're doing it. We planned trips already too. Yeah. That's one thing I will pull up for sure.
I know you will.
I might not hit you up for brunch, but if you say we're going to Italy in August, I will be in Italy in August.
I call Shan TT Trip Shawty.
You've never said that to me in your life.
I did.
That's my first time hearing this word, guys.
But I thought it would sound hot, and I'm going to say it from now on.
TT Trip Shawty?
TT Trip Shawty. That's the auntie who be taking trips.
The rich auntie? I've become the rich auntie.
First of all, I didn't say the rich auntie.
No, the rich auntie, it doesn't necessarily mean they're literally rich. It's just the fact that they don't have kids, so they have the money to spend on trips.
You're going to be the rich auntie until you have kids. That's who you are. Then you just buy your nephew some Jordans or something like that.
I did. He wanted some Jordans, so I bought him Jordans.
You're the rich auntie. TT Trip Shawty.
We got to work on that name, though.
We got to get you some sunglasses. It's an Atlanta name. Atlanta. You know we're from Atlanta?
That accent is wild.
Well, what do you mean? It's bad or good?
It's really bad.
Atlanta now?
Yeah, you're bad with accents. I don't think there's an accent you do well.
You don't think that's a good accent for Atlanta? Atlanta. Atlanta.
That's better, but it's like there's something there's something happening nasally that isn't right.
Jordan. You know I'm asking Jordan because Jordan from a smaller town, South Georgia. So Jordan got the accent. Jordan don't
have an accent.
Is that I'm trying to give like more of a YN accent.
What's that? Like Water Boys?
Not even who?
Like Water Boys?
Something like that.
You gotta be more.
My Atlanta?
Say Atlanta.
Atlanta. Oh, that's right. He got it. Try it. You say Atlanta. That's what you sound like an iguana.
You said iguana.
You sound Atlanta. That's what you sound like.
That's not how they talk.
He said Atlanta.
Or Atlanta.
That second T is missing.
Atlanta.
That's better, right?
Atlanta.
They say they vowels.
Atlanta.
Who?
Who says their vowels?
Who says they vowels?
They be like, for sure.
For sure.
Who says vowels?
No, they say for sure.
No.
Not
today.
Who says for sure?
I thought the YNs.
You be like, for surely.
No.
Okay. All right. This is getting out of hand, y'all. Anyway.
Maybe I'll talk with a British accent for the rest of it. What? This is my natural accent.
No, it's not.
This is how I talk.
No.
I've just been doing an American accent.
Just because your mama talk like that don't mean you could talk like that.
This is how I talk.
We're getting off topic.
Okay, my bad. What were we talking about? My bad, you're right. My bad. Let's reel it in.
Either way.
I was trying to help people with what were we talking about? Oh, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Relate toxic? No, getting out of I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie, I got lost.
What was your original question?
I was talking about why people stay. Why people stay in.
You said white people stay, and black people don't. Is that what you're saying?
Why do people stay in relationships longer than they should? Why are they afraid to leave? When do you know it's the right time to leave? That's what we're leaving. That's what we're talking about. When do you know it's the right time to leave a relationship?
So let me give my answer on the question because we asked you.
Okay. Yes.
Even though obviously you have more experience in this situation than I do. I do think people stay for there's a multitude of reasons. All right. I mean, it could be something as simple as they're comfortable.
Yes.
They are afraid that there is nothing else out there. Trauma bonding. Like they got together on a trauma bond and they don't know that they're in it and they're hooked in deep. The relationship appears good, but it's really not. Or they really wasn't ever into the person, but they have all the intangibles that make them all right. You know, like, this person's providing and doing all this stuff. Yeah. So it's like, it's a good guy, but it may not be something that I like and mesh and want to be with. There's a combination of reasonings.
So when do you know it's time to leave?
I think like we talked about, you got to listen to your gut.
Yeah.
You got to listen to your intuition.
Yeah.
Because it is tricky. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's easy. It's hard to decipher whether, like, dang, is this my gut, my intuition saying I should leave? Or is this actually, there's just toxic traits and things that aren't going,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it really comes down to that.
Yeah.
Really just intuition, learning yourself.
Yeah.
What you like and what you don't like. Because the more you learn yourself, the more you are aware of who you are, the more you know and don't know what you like and don't like.
Yeah.
Right. And then just basically going off of those things. Right.
I think another thing that helped me, sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
Another thing that helped me when I was leaving is that leaving my past relationship, was that I knew that I did everything that I could. So when it was over, I didn't have that feeling of guilt or that fear that I made the wrong decision, because I know I tried everything that I could to make it work and it still wasn't working, whether that was trying to do therapy and and offering compromises and trying to talk things out and try to communicate more. I feel like that could be something too that helps with making that decision if you are unsure. Like you have this gut feeling and you're like, if it's only, it's these things that aren't working, maybe maybe I can try fixing it by doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and like just having those, whatever that looks like, and having boundaries around that. And when you know you've tried everything, for me anyway, I feel like that made it easier to let it go, to let the relationship go, because I knew that it was beyond me now.
Yeah. So maybe for you, it wasn't necessarily that. I think for you, it was more about taking initiative earlier in the relationship. I think you was together for 10 years because you felt XYZ, but you didn't take the initiative to like do everything you could and then be disciplined enough and hold yourself accountable when those things weren't, your needs weren't met.
Yeah.
To walk away.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Right. If you could go back and you like, if you can go back right now, when would you have walked away from that relationship?
That's a great question, because it wasn't bad in the beginning. I think I stayed at least 4 years too long.
Okay. So at the 6-year mark.
Yeah.
Which would have put you at how old when you broken up? What year?
27.
You would be 27 if you broke up when at the 6-year mark?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that would have impacted your life better, worse? Do you feel like you would have had more time?
It's tricky because I do think about those things often, not often, but I think about it sometimes. And the only reason I always, and I've told you this before, I wouldn't say that I would change anything is because it led me to you.
Yeah, of course. And
so, yeah, I know, but that's why it's hard for me to say. So if I take that out of it.
Yeah, take me out of the equation.
I don't know. It's still so. I mean, yes, I should have left earlier.
Yeah.
What was your question? Like if it would have benefited me?
Do you feel like you would have, it would have altered who you were? I mean, of course it would have, but like, do you feel like it would have benefited you? Like, do you feel like what would have changed? Like if you had got out of a relationship 4 years earlier?
I can only assume it would have led me on that journey that I talked about, as far as like the growth and everything from leaving that relationship. Just had me started on that sooner and earlier, and you know, still in my mid-20s and feeling like I had, you know, more time to date, because being single again at 31, 32, 33 was that feeling of like, damn, I might not find nobody, so you know, it is what it is. But it probably being younger and being in that phase, it would be a whole different experience. I don't know what lessons I would have learned.
Do you think, and this is, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but do you think at 27 you were mature enough to understand that it's time to focus on myself at this capacity?
Probably not. I probably wouldn't have taken it that seriously. 10 years in a
relationship is different than 6 years in a relationship. And getting out of a relationship at 31 is different than getting out of a relationship at 27.
No, you're right. To be honest with you, I might not have taken it that seriously, like that growth journey. I probably wouldn't really consider it or care to do it that much. Like I probably would have just, you know, gotten out of the relationship and just been like, okay, well, you know, on to the next or something. I'd probably be more just like, I don't know what word to use for it, but just free. More free about it. But being older and in a relationship that long, I was a lot more intentional about my time being single.
Yeah.
So that is a huge difference.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Yeah. Dang.
Thanks
for that. No, but I feel like I am glad we talked about that, because I do feel like a lot of people don't know when is the right time to leave. So it's hard to say, but just follow your gut is what I think. I know you talked about too, how there was a lot of cycles that you kept having when you were
karmic cycle.
Yeah. But I guess for you, because I was gonna say with that, how did you know when to leave those situations? But I guess like once you realized it was a karmic cycle that you were doing or having, was it like when did you know that I'm in the same pattern and it's time to leave that? Did that make sense?
It's weird because when I even learned about karmic cycles in the first place, that's when I became aware of. That's when I got to the point of I need to be more aware of what's going on when I'm dating or talking to these people, because I need to see like patterns between these people and myself.
Okay.
So just understanding what a karmic cycle was.
What is a karmic cycle?
My definition, I don't know what a Webster's definition is, but it's basically if there's and I don't know if it has to specifically deal with it being does it have to be toxic or it's non-toxic. In my position, it was toxic, but it was basically like I was falling into the same characteristics, negative, toxic traits over and over and over and over, not understanding and realizing that these traits were toxic and that I needed to overcome or become better than those situations and better identify what I was looking at to be able to move forward and not get into these things. So like, I mean, for example, one of the toxic traits, we've talked about it before, I would just like girls that would like me.
Right, yeah.
It didn't have, I didn't vet them out, I didn't try to, it would just be like, oh, you like me? I like you too.
Right.
That was one of them. Exactly. So when I was like, oh, snap, like I'm noticing that with all the girls, like I'm not even liking them off the rip.
Yeah.
Most of the girls that I would be into, like I was like, I didn't even like really like them. Like they had a lot of traits that I wasn't into. But yet for some reason I'm still going on a date with them. I'm still doing this. Why am I doing that?
Right.
You know, and that was one of them. So when I corrected that and I started becoming more selective, it eliminated like a lot of those bad people in my life.
So how do you know when you are ready to be in a relationship again? Like once you do take that time to, I
don't think you ever really know. I don't think I think you might get lonely. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like being lonely is fun.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, it's not fun.
You don't like
being lonely is not fun. I'm sorry. We weren't put on this earth to be lonely. There's a reason why you got a vagina, I got a dick.
Oh my God.
And they go together.
Explicit language, everybody.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. Y'all, hopefully y'all adults watching this. There's a reason why. One goes into the other and it fit in forms, right?
Okay.
Biology ain't lying to me, right? So I'm supposed to be with you, you're supposed to be with me.
Okay.
Right? That's controversial. It is what it is. But I wasn't put on this earth to be alone.
Yeah.
I was put on this earth to find someone and, hopefully procreate. Blase, blase. So it's not fun, but it is necessary. It's very necessary to be able to find that person. I don't know why I feel like I got off topic.
No, you're fine. I was asking, how do you know when you are ready to be in a relationship again?
So, yeah, that's what I was getting to. So basically, you do become lonely by being single. But once you learn that you're content with being single, I think that's when it's okay to be in a relationship. I think that's where it is. But it's so iffy. There's so much gray.
Yeah.
Because there are people who are like so content with being single that they just be cutting off
everybody.
You'd be like, bruh, like you can't do that. Like
Dang.
the guy got one little thing.
Because that's hard. How do you fix that?
You just gotta be aware. I'm telling you, awareness is the key, bro. If you're aware of yourself, it's the key. People really don't see that. They don't understand that. Most people who are in situations that they shouldn't be in, or that they just like, damn, like why am I here? It's because they just lack awareness of yourself. And how do you gain awareness? You learn more about yourself. And you actually pay attention to yourself. Yeah. So some people get so deep in the single game that they can't even get back out. Yeah. They be in there.
Yeah. And it is important, ironically, it is important to continue to be open to dating and going out with other people. Because I realized I made this mistake when I was single and on my healing journey where I got to a point where I was like, oh yeah, I'm healed. I've figured everything out. I've gone to therapy. Like, I know how to communicate. I know how to do this. I've fixed all my problems. And it's easy to say that when there's nobody there triggering you.
Yes.
It's easy to feel like you fixed and solved everything when you're not having to have disputes or disagreements with somebody or have somebody else that back and forth.
It's cool.
You don't know what you're actually healing from and like what you're actually accomplished if you're not challenging it.
If you're practicing, that's different than the game.
Oh.
If you in the game playing, that's not the same. That's not the same as practice. You got to have game time minutes.
You need points on the scoreboard.
No, I'm not. That's not. Yeah, we're not.
Oh, I got it wrong.
It ain't got nothing to do with points.
I lost that.
Yeah, you took us.
I was trying to get in.
I was here.
I was trying to get in the game.
You was off camera.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, no.
My bad.
But basically, if you practice
that's why you don't invite me.
That's why you don't come to the games, baby.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna listen. I'm trying.
But if you practice is different than game minutes. Practice minutes is different than G League minutes is different than actual NBA minutes. It's not the same. So when you are practicing, you should always practice and train hard. But yeah, it's different. It's different
than when you're actually in the situation, for sure. And so like I said, that's definitely a mistake. I feel like I won't say it was a huge mistake, but it was. Damn it, Jordan.
Jordan over here trying to have his Kobe moments.
You made one sports reference.
One sports reference, not Jordan over here trying to be Ginobili. He trying to be European. He over there threw the legs, dropped the ball.
Damn it, Jordan.
Damn it, Jordan.
That's hilarious. Also, I don't know. I didn't keep track of time, so I don't know how long we've been talking either.
21 minutes.
Okay, bet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I feel like that's a mistake I made just as far as thinking that I was all healed and stuff. And it's an ongoing journey as well. Like you're never just healed. Like it's a constant thing.
It's always something.
Yeah.
But you can get to a point in your life where you're content and like I'm content where I'm at.
Yeah.
But like, I know there's still things
you
about
always
me
say that there's always things you can improve on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think you should always strive to improve as long as it doesn't create a toxic environment to yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to just. It is hard. It is a very hard topic to know when to walk away. It's also hard to understand and learn what karmic cycles you have. It's hard to know when to tell a person. It's even hard to there's so many elements to it. Like just to even confront a person. Just to say, hey, I don't like this. It's hard to know when you're single, but you should take a chance on a person. Like my journey was strong, like really strong. Like I had to be strong in my journey. Like I had to be.
What do you mean?
Because I was getting people that I would normally want to talk to sent from the universe, and I had to say no.
Oh yeah.
I had to.
The universe was trying to teach you a lesson, and you had to keep. Yeah.
But when we met, I don't know if I've ever told you this. When I met you, I was like. I was not lonely. Like, oh my God, you're so lonely. Like, but I was like, damn, I'm tired of being single. Like, I'm content with it, but like, I would love to have somebody.
Yeah.
That I can like spend nights with, and especially because all my friends started getting booed up.
Dang, that'd
be the worst.
That's rough. That's why I had to start making single friends.
Yeah, that was the worst. All my single friends started having girlfriends, and I was like, damn, what you just said.
That's what you said. I got you. Yeah.
But it is rough. I'm not going to act like it's easy.
Yeah.
But there is blueprints and there's ways to be able to work towards a relationship. Or if you want to be single, be single. That's cool. I mean, everyone's their own person. And as long as they don't bring other people down, I always say, do you. Do your thing.
Do your thing. 21.
And
that's a great place to end. So thank you guys for watching. Obviously, we had a lot that we discussed. I think I don't know if we got off track per usual at some point, but
a pretty good amount of times. Which will probably definitely need Lewis to hit this, to edit out some of them off track parts.
Keep it all in there.
No,
we'll keep it all in there. But please leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think.
Yes.
How you guys have broken any karmic cycles and your own healing journey and what that looks like for you. Like, comment, subscribe. We are on Patreon. Patreon gets all the episodes first. They all drop early on Patreon, and we will be putting exclusive content that you can only get on Patreon. So make sure you subscribe to get all that content. We are on YouTube, and we're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, if TikTok is still here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Please.